Owning a supercar has probably crossed everyone's mind at least once in their lives. Whether it's the exotic look, the extreme amounts of horsepower, or the prestigious feeling that comes with driving a car that cost over $100,000. Well, one can still experience that feeling without having to spend too much. Hey guys, welcome to VantaTech. Today, we will go through some amazing and affordable supercars that will brighten up your garage without making a hole in your pocket. Buckle up your seatbelts because we have something different at the end of this video. To start the countdown, we have number 10, Aston Martin Vantage. The V8 Vantage remains one of the most strikingly beautiful cars on the planet. For the money, it was built as a competitor to the Porsche 911, a rapid but civilized sports car that was equally at home driving to work and back as on the track. More muscular than the DB9 on which it is based, the Vantage is squatter and shorter, and the positioning of the compact 4.3-litre V8 deep back in the engine bay is great for handling. The 385 horsepower can propel the car to 60 miles per hour or 96.5 kilometers per hour in just 5 seconds. With a top speed of 175 miles per hour or 281.5 kilometers per hour. That's when the magic happens and Aston turns to astonishing. You can get a 2006 car for comfortably under $40,900, only if 6.8 kilometers per litre doesn't concern you. Not such a bad deal if you ask me. What do you think? Coming up next is another Aston Martin that's made it to the list. Aston Martin DB9. Though not nearly as legendary as the DB4 or James Bond's go-to Aston Martin, the DB5, the DB9 is very much still a part of the world-renowned DB series, and that definitely puts it towards the top tier of desirability, at least when it comes to a $50,000 price tag. Available as a coupe or a convertible, this Grand Tourer might not look as flashy as some of the others on this list. But with its 450 and 420 horsepower 5.6-litre standard V12 engine, it definitely qualifies as a supercar with a top speed of 183 miles per hour or 295 kilometers an hour. Expect to find year models in the mid-2000s for this car, though as later years can still cost quite a bit, even in middling to poor conditions. Number 8. NISSAN GT-R. Described as a supercar for the PlayStation generation, the Nissan GT-R competes head-on with modern mid-engine supercars for pure point-to-point pace and would beat many of them through the corners. This car is a technological masterpiece that uses electronically-controlled four-wheel drive, allowing the power from the twin-turbo 3.8-litre V6 engine to be unleashed for achieving 0 to 60 miles per hour or 96.5 kilometers per hour speed in just 3.5 seconds. This one has a bulky frame and a hefty weight of 1,725 kilograms, but it's built for speed, grip, and pure fun. A 2010 model would cost you around $55,000. On number 7, we have 2020 Chevrolet Corvette. Because of being around for over 60 years, the Corvette hardly needs an introduction, but in previous years it wouldn't have met the supercar criteria, being a muscle car. The 6.2-litre mid-mounted V8 engine produces 490 horsepower that gets sent to the rear wheels through an 8-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. Traditionalists will lament the end of the manual transmission, but the performance is undeniable, with a top speed of 194 miles per hour or 312 kilometers per hour. The new Vette's powerful V8 engine helps the Corvette go from 0 to 60 miles per hour or 96.5 kilometers per hour in a mere 2.8 seconds when equipped with the $5,000 Z51 performance package. That's faster than the previous generation Corvette ZR1, which is blindingly quick to begin with, carrying a price tag of $58,900. Number 6. 2019 Chevy CAMARO ZL1. As far as Camaros go, there are plenty of options to be made that can change this ordinary sports car to an even better sports car, like opting for the V8 over the 4-cylinder engine. But the only way to make it a supercar is to go for the CAMARO ZL1. This supercar has rightfully made its way on this list. This top-tiered machine comes with a 6.2-litre supercharged V8 that produces 650 horsepower, which can make the car go up to 200 miles per hour or 322 kilometers per hour. You have the option of choosing either a 10-speed automatic transmission or a manual 6-speed transmission to put that power to the ground. The ZL1 can be purchased for an astonishing $62,000. This car is too fancy for the price if you ask me, and that doesn't seem like a bad deal when you compare how much a Lamborghini or Bugatti would be. Next on the list is number 5, Ferrari 360. Now, who would have thought they would be able to afford a Ferrari below the price tag of $100,000? The two-seater 360 was the car that brought Ferrari into the 21st century, and it was a huge success for the company. The Ferrari 360 also spawned the 360 Challenger Redeye, which was essentially a Ferrari race car for the road. It was also one of the last modern Ferraris to come with a manual gearbox as standard. If you find one with a stick, jump on it fast. Values of these are only going up. Even still, the 360 is one of the most affordable Ferraris out there, with a price ranging from $66,000 to $71,000. On number 4, we have 2020 Alfa Romeo 4C. The Alfa Romeo 4C has a turbocharged 1.75-litre engine that produces 237 horsepower. But thanks to its carbon fiber construction, the 4C can shoot from 0 to 60 miles per hour or 96.5 kilometers per hour in just 4.1 seconds. These figures make the 4C a pint-sized menace to bigger, more powerful cars on the road. For such a small car, the 4C is almost impossibly low and wide. That, along with its dramatic design cues and mid-engine layout, result in a car that will turn heads wherever it goes. The paddle shift automatic transmission is operated in a way that's similar to a Ferrari's shifter, which lends to its supercar persona. You can get this car for about $67,150. What a bargain! Number 3. 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby GT500. Even though this car's production just began from January 2021, the orders started coming in bulk since October 2020. A Shelby isn't just a name or a car, it's a monstrous legend that will demand respect from the road and the driver. With a 5.2 supercharged V8, this car is estimated at making around 720 horsepower, and paired with a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission that was tailored just for it, making the car roar with a top speed of 180 miles per hour or 290 kilometers per hour. Being in the neighborhood of the CAMARO ZL1 and Challenger Hellcat, this car will most likely sell for a little more than $70,000. Up at number 2 sits the 2019 Dodge Challenger Hellcat Redeye. This car checks off every box one can consider a supercar to have. The horsepower is among the highest with regards to this list, and American muscle in general. The Hellcat Redeye is producing nearly 800 horsepower with an 8-speed automatic transmission to help keep that power on the ground. Dodge can achieve 60 miles per hour or 96.5 kilometers per hour in just 3.4 seconds. And you can rip off a quarter-mile time of 10.8 seconds at a trap speed of 131 miles per hour or 211 kilometers per hour. Top speed, 203 miles per hour or 326.7 kilometers per hour. As far as luxury, the interior room in this car is insuperable for its pony car competition, though it's the only one of the 3 manufacturers not producing a convertible option. With that much power, maybe it's best not to have a convertible option. It also happens to be considered one of the most comfortable cars out of its competition. The Hellcat Redeye can be owned for a bargain price of just under $70,000. Before getting to number 1, make sure you smash that subscribe button. And now, top on number 1 is Dodge Challenger SRT Superstock. The 2020 Dodge Challenger might seem more like a muscle car than a supercar, but any vehicle with over 800 horsepower deserves to be treated differently. The new for 2020 Superstock trim is a $3,000 performance addition to the Challenger Hellcat Redeye. It ramps up the Redeye's 6.4-litre supercharged Hemi V8 to a whopping 807 horsepower. The Superstock's package includes Brembo brakes, a specially tuned suspension, and drag radial tyres. Dodge claims the Superstock can do 0 to 60 miles per hour or 96.5 kilometers per hour in 3.25 seconds and hit a top speed of 168 miles per hour or 270 kilometers per hour, which is only limited by the tires. With a price of well over $79,595, it still has made its place on the top of the cheapest supercars list. If you like this video, make sure you check this one out too. See you all soon!